All right, today on Marty's First Looks, we're going right back into Kindle Vella, which I've been spending a lot of time on recently. Specifically, I'm going to dig into another story that I picked out, and I really caught my eye. Okay, very different, interesting concept. I like the idea, and I want to dig right into it now. So again, if you haven't before, we're doing most of this on Kindle Vella, right? So with Kindle Vella, essentially, you're going to use either the iPad or the iPhone. You'll be able to go into the Kindle application and specifically look under Discover for Kindle Vella. Vellas are short, one episode at a time, serialized fiction. Of course, as you find interesting things to look at or to read, the first 3 episodes are always free. So let's dig right in today to the one I want to look at, The Explorers by Kitty Gulick. Okay, so this one's neat. It caught me completely by surprise when I read the first episode. I loved the concept. I liked the idea. Specifically, it gave me sort of a "is it what's real, what isn't" kind of vibe, which I'll be honest was a real surprise. A couple of things to dive in on here. If you're not familiar with Kindle Vella, the name of the serial is always up here at the top. It's called The Explorers, and of course, the author Kitty Gulick. We've got 15 episodes, that's what this icon here means, and 106 thumbs up, and we're going to talk about thumbs up today. Lastly, top faved, which gives you this really interesting little crown up here in the corner. Essentially, it just means that enough people have said, hey, this is a fave, I like this, and if enough do, then they end up getting this crown and a little bit better placement on the site. So again, these are serialized, short, episodic fiction. Well, let's jump right into The Explorers here. After their mother-appointed detectives and investigative journalists digging into the abduction of Sean Richards towards his brother, X found himself yearning for revenge. A revenge that led to the creation of an app to lure his own victims to their doom. But random Nautica and Scarenoia beat him to it. In order to learn how it works and how to exploit them for his own purposes, X takes a team out to play with an app with a map to the middle of nowhere. What could possibly go wrong? So the tags, again, every story has tags. The tags are crime, serial killers, murder, psychopath, kidnapping, randonautica, and horror. So you can see that we have update frequency. There have been 3 in the last 30 days. It's considered a thriller or mystery. So as you can always do with each one of these Kindle Vellas, you can hit the icon here to start following, or click the button rather to start following the story. You'll get notifications on your iPhone or your iPad when new episodes arrive. So let's dive right into episode 1 and kind of get a feel for what this is, because again, I said it's a little bit different than what you would expect. So I'm going to go ahead and read just this first forward here to kind of give you a hint as to what this is about. And then I'll jump into the last few pieces of what to do with stories as you go through them. Forward, the start to our journey. About 10 years ago, I outlined a story in which a serial killer used an app to lure their victims to their doom. It took quite a bit of storytelling to get to that point of the tale. The content was something that, like the killers in the series I'll begin releasing in the fall of 2021, gave me nightmares in both writing and research. Fast forward a decade. It's been a long time since I've even thought about this story, and we find ourselves in a time where apps like the one my killer crafted and promoted are no longer a fantasy. They're here, and they're real. Randonautica, Scarenoia, and similar apps are ones that encourage people to get out and explore the world by giving them random destinations to find. With these apps come a wealth of content. Some excursions seem to be validly prepared for adventurers to stumble upon. Others staged like the young man who continues to find the same missing boy and calls the police to return him to his parents. Sometimes ridiculous or even random abandoned buildings are pinned for people to explore, or the worse. In June of 2020, teens out exploring using Randonautica while escaping the boredom of quarantine found a body in a suitcase while live on TikTok. Did the person dumping the bodies have anything to do with the fact these teenagers were led to it? The answer to that question is definitely not. At the time of the writing this forward, several other content creators I've been following have been on a wild adventure across the country, following clues that involve a bizarre love triangle. While I can't help but believe that these events are entirely staged, there's still the possibility that they're not. What we do know as viewers is that the content creators themselves have been shot at on more than one occasion and even chased out of the locations they're exploring. For the most part, the setups appear to be innocent, mostly dolls, stuffed animals, masks, and things that are normally innocuous and uninspiring, staged in a way that's meant to inspire a feel fearful or emotional reaction. Sometimes the stagings include people dressed in unexpected ways, wearing masks, or behaving unexpectedly. While I can tell you that my own experiences have never been something to write home about, that doesn't mean that terrifying things don't actually happen as a result of using these apps. The point of all of this is that we live in a crazy world where bad things like drugs and human trafficking exist. With the number of people go missing every day, the moral of the story is simply this: one does not randonaut, scaranoia, or adventure using any similar app alone. Remember that the locations you're being sent to haven't been vetted. They're completely randomly generated and can lead you to private property or even the path of wildlife. One of my favorite paranormal investigation teams came very close to a run-in with a bear, so not all the things you encounter may even be man-made. That, and know if the situation is crazy and probably dangerous, unless it's an obstacle course race, I would avoid it myself. Most importantly, stay safe out there. Okay, I got to this point, and I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know whether or not this looked like something that was going to be, was this real? Was this not real? I've actually done a little research and looked around. I love the concept. I love where this is going. I don't know that I would be the kind of person to go looking for random locations to hunt down, but the idea is really neat. It's very innovative, very creative. So I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom. I want to talk briefly about, again, every Vella episode has a note from the author. So this author writes, "Hi everyone, I'm excited to share this adventure with you and hope that you will come to enjoy your time with X, Y, and Z and their motley crew as much as I have in writing them. I wanted to take a moment to let you know that my posting schedule will include the first and third Monday of the month, with the potential for bonus episodes on the fifth Monday. You can find me on Instagram at Kitty Gulick, where you can learn a little about me and my projects, which include a full-length paranormal mystery that will be releasing in November, and some crazy photography. Until next time." Something to keep in mind, not only are these interesting notes from the author in every single episode, but if we pull up a little bit here at the bottom, we get a couple of options, and one of them is the thumbs up. Clicking that button tells the author, hey, I like this, I like what you're doing, I like this story, I'm enjoying this, and of course mashing the next episode button will of course take you on to the next episode. So as far as I'm concerned, really interesting concept, The Explorers by Kitty Gulick. Very interesting story, gives you a different take on some things, really made me go out and look up some stuff and try to understand these random destination apps. Again, that's what I think of when I think of Kindle Vella, random destinations. You can use this application to dig in and find serials and stories across a wide range of different concepts and topics and ideas, and the first three are always free. So good luck, have fun, and happy reading.